Okay, so let's go pretty quick. People have written some homework. Okay. So again, I told you, right? So this is what we find. I found it yesterday, right? I told you like this is what is happening. So this is really not a, you know, this is a defect, but again, I told in the class. So I told you, right? Don't just repeat the same thing what I'm telling in the class. You need to find yourself. You need to find, defect by yourself, not, what I told in the class. You don't want to do that again. Okay, so this is okay. Let's go here. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now, this is a very interesting. This is a, this can be considered as a defect. Okay, security issue site is not encrypted. So this is good. This is a defect because I never told in the class, right? I never opened, and told specifically, but that was really good. You found it. So when you're trying to order, it has to be HTTPS. Okay, whatever you want to order something, it has to be HTTPS. It cannot just rely on. Okay, so yes, so I have muted everyone's mic. If anyone is have any questions, unmute your mic. Okay, and you can go ahead. Okay, so because a lot of noise is coming, so I muted everyone's mic. Okay. Okay, so so this is the thing, right? Whenever you're trying to order, this should be in encrypted, like HTTPS. Let's take an example. If I'm trying to order something in Amazon, uh, whole site is HTTPS, so I don't care even if I have to order, right? If I have to order something, it's just like HTTPS. But the same thing when I'm trying to order here, it's not showing HTTPS, right? So that is a really good defect. Okay, that's a good thing that that somebody has found. It's good. But before opening any defect, you need to check with your lead. Okay, just because you found some issue doesn't mean it's an issue. Okay, so you need to check with the lead. Okay, this is good. No CVV option. Okay. Okay, so let's go to another. So that's the thing, right? That's what I told in the class, right? You have to pay attention here. So what's business analyst? So when you open such kind of issues, right? There's no editor cancel to go back and make changes. So you don't really require that. Let's say you want to make some 10 here, place an order. Okay, and here you see this. Click on proceed button to use browser back button to make changes in your selection. That means you can go back and change the selection. That's what they mean. Okay. Obviously, in the real time, it's really not the case because you cannot do the back browser button when you're using some professional website. Okay, that's true, but still there are companies who say that use this browser back button. Okay, so they say, but obviously there has to be some option to go back in the web page because this URL is because the reason, right? If the URL is custom generated, because sometimes they have their own URL to avoid that hacking and security kind of thing. They have their own automated URL generator, so there's new URLs get generated every time. But this URL is same every time, so it's not an issue. So in that case, this back button doesn't work, right? Here it works because same URL every time. That's good. Now every time a new URL, that's issue. That will be a problem. In that case, they have to have this back button in the application. Otherwise, it's really not required. Okay. So this is thing. This is good. This is shoes sizes are not available. That's a very good question. You see this? This is hiking boots. Okay, good. Now here, this is a very good thing where they didn't mention anything about the sizes. So sizes is very important. You know, without sizes, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to buy anything, right? They have to really have the sizes. But this is a good question to business analysts. So whenever you open such kind of issues, you need to check with first. You need to check with the lead, saying that, hey, you know what? Whenever the customer buys, they are looking for sizes, right? There is no sizes here. So that's a good thing to talk about. Okay. Now you need to check with your business analyst or product owner, saying that, hey, you know what, this sizes are not mentioned. There should be some size limits, right? Some chart or saying that which which size is applicable. Okay, you cannot just hit one shoes, just like that. It's really not possible. Okay, so that's a very good thing. Okay, so it's really, yeah, I can say this defect. Yeah, obviously it's a defect. But this is first thing. First thing is first, you need to check with your lead, check with this, saying that, hey, shoe size is not available. I consider this as a defect. Okay, that's good. That's a really good that you find out, right? This is a valid defect, right? Because you cannot buy without, this is common sense, right? So these defects are mostly in common sense. We don't require document for this, right? We really don't need document for this. And I personally, whenever I test on anything, I check all these, all these common sense things, right? We really don't require a document for all this testing, right? Obviously, if you are buying shoes, of course, you need to have these sizes, right? There's a big length of chart, right? The small size, medium, large, extra large. Again, you have those numbers, the 6, 7, 8, those kind of numbers, and it's pretty important. Without that, obviously, it's no point of buying, and no one would even consider to buy that, right? So that's good. That's a good point. After a long time, got a good reason to discuss on that. Okay, so that's a good reason to discuss how they are willing to change that, the option here so that they can, add the sizes. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so that's where the no issue. So let's see, what I was expecting, the defects, what you guys didn't open. Now, first, let's look the page. Right into the front of the page, you have defect. For example, let's see here. Copyright 1997. So this is not 1997, right? This is not 1997. It's 2017, right? Okay. Yeah. I muted your mic. Yeah. Ben, you have any question?
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me now? Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
So, I'm not able to hear properly, but it's yeah, can you go ahead with your question?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear, but there's a bit disturbance.
Okay, I will get back to you after the class. Just please stay with me for a minute, okay?
Okay, yeah, just you can call me after the class. If you have any questions or if you're not getting any documents, you can.
Okay, so just stay with me after the class, please, for 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me after the class. My phone number is again, like I'm just saying again, 732-333-4781. You can reach out to me. If I'm not available in this phone, you can have my email ID. It's manu@idmaker.com. We can talk after the class, so that would be much more better. Okay. So here, this was the first thing I was looking for, right? 1997. Now this, see, let's say if you're going with some healthcare project or something, right? Now this will be a compliance issue. This will be a serious federal compliance issue. Now you're not using a website which is pretty outdated. That's since 1997. It's really not good, because you will get legal issues. You will get into legal issues, and if you get legal issues, the tester is going to be in trouble, because the question will be why it was not found before, why now, right? So this is very important. So in finance, okay, you might not care, or but it's really, again, this is a compliance issue. It doesn't matter. It's insurance, it's a finance, it's a it can be legal proceeding, because you're using an outdated website that's from 1997. You need to change your certificates. You need to update to 2000, whatever the new is, 2017, and then you need to do it. Okay, so this is very important, especially in healthcare. Okay, so this, I don't think anyone opened defect with this. Okay, so one more defect. Now let's see here. This. Now one more defect that nobody has opened. Now whenever I'm hovering my mouse over this image, if you see this mouse is turning into hand cursor. You see this? Now that's a defect. Okay, that comes in a very low defect. That's called cosmetic issue or something, but that's still a defect. Okay, I'm hovering my mouse over this image and it's changing into hand cursor. That's a big. Okay, let's see if I click on this. Oh, page not allowed. So what is supposed to be? So this is, this is a defect, right? Let's say if there is any URL or any testing which is supposed to be done here in this URL or this web page, or you cannot access. So this becomes a priority issue. If there is any things to be done for this, so you cannot get this kind of issue. This should be this is a defect. Okay, this is not a very serious issue, or this is not really a big issue. This is a low, very low. Developer will be taking very low. They will be fixing like maybe in 2 months or something. They don't worry about it, but still a defect. As a tester, as a QA tester, you are responsible to find this issue, right? If you are not able to find this and this gets into production, then you are the one who will be who will be questioned, right? Why it was not found before. Okay, so this is very important. So this, nobody has found it. Okay, just 2 things. Anything else? So some people have also found some issues, like they are they have to written redundant information. They put 2 times the same information. That's good. Okay, they also find that is no issues, but I would, as a tester, as a QA, I still consider it as an issue. Okay, I would not ignore that. Okay, by no means I cannot ignore it, because I'm a tester. That's what I am hired for, right? I'm hired because I need to show them that application is broken, right? There are issues in the application. That's why I'm hired for, right? Now, if you're ignoring this issue, then you're you're really diverting from your job, right? So that make sure, okay, don't do that. Okay. Okay, some things might be missed. That's fine. It's not everything can be done, but as far as you found it, if you see that something is, you need to report it. That's what your job is. Okay. Okay. So that's about the issues. Any questions? Any questions so far?
So what was the issue, like you told, regarding the once you hover the mouse towards the right, it changes into hand, the cosmetic issue?
Yeah, so this is a cosmetic issue, because see, here's the thing. This image is not supposed to be URL, right? Let's say here, see this, here is good, right? It's not changing into hand cursor. See this? Okay. Yeah. But here it's changing to hand cursor, and whenever I'm trying to click this, and it's changing to this. So this is a cosmetic issue. Okay. Obviously, developer would not bother on this to fix on this, but as a tester, you have to open this kind of issue. I've opened this kind of issues. I found lot in my projects when I was working, and of course my that's developer boss, right? They verify what kind of issues and they put the priority. So they actually change the priority. So they change it to low issues. So that's how I come to know that's low priority. Okay, because
So are there any
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, sorry to bother you. Are there any other examples of like cosmetic issues, like besides that, some other examples like?
I mean, see, this is an example, but some of the examples you will be able to find more if you have a requirement document. Okay, let's say this cosmetic issue can vary from here from this much to right. This color of this GMO, it should be light green. It is dark green, something like that. Okay, and the font. Okay, the font is is bold font. It should be normal font and stuff like that. So those comes under cosmetic issue, but to really know this, you really need to have this requirement document. You cannot really judge just by looking at it. Okay.
Yep.
Any more questions?
No.
Okay, so we have too much time for this. Let's go to our rally. So here, we'll talk about this test management tool. Okay, so this is Rally, and I'll be giving you access to this by today. Okay, so let's see here. I guess I have already. Oops. Okay, so I'll be giving you access for this. So you can. You can log in and try to see and make sure you guys don't delete anything. So here's the thing. So very important thing. I will also give you an instruction. Okay, your job is not to delete anything. Your job is to do your work. Okay, what you cannot delete someone else's work. Now that's previous batch. I keep telling them and they keep doing it. So that should not happen, because I told them like twice, maybe thrice. Okay, don't delete it, and people keep deleting it. I have to send an email saying that you cannot delete someone else's work. It's inappropriate, right? If you are deleting someone else's work, then you are getting trouble for yourself. In real time, if you're doing that, you're getting trouble yourself. Okay, so don't do it, because lot of user stories. Okay, good. So once you log in, so this is the dashboard. Okay, and first thing, when you log in into any, as a matter of fact, any test management tool, it doesn't have to be Rally, HPLM, or anything else. First, you need to figure it out which project you're working on. So here in Rally specifically, you need to see which project you're working on. This is what the project means, right? And here we only have 4, but really there will be some thousands of projects. And the question is, do you have access to that project? Whenever you have this access, you can only see. If you don't have access, then even if it is 1,000, you cannot see here because you really don't have access. Now, once you figure it out which project you're working on, let's say this is my project. Now I'm working on testing team, so click on this. And who is going to tell you? Your lead. Your first point of contact is always a lead. Okay, lead. You have to make your first point of contact is lead. Then if lead is not available, you can try checking with the developer, but developer will not be that helpful, so don't expect too much from developer. Okay, so this is the project. Now, okay, so this is now you get this dashboard. Okay, so this dashboard is okay, it's good, because let's say if your boss has assigned some work to you, you got to see here right away. Let's say if somebody blogs something, I see this right away. Oh, somebody has blocked my work. Okay, good. Let me check it out. Okay, so that's how the dashboard is useful. And if somebody gives you work, it all shows up. You can see, oh, somebody has given work. Let me check it out. Okay, so you can see. So that's the reason you have this kind of dashboard kind of thing. Okay, but here it doesn't show much, so don't worry about it. but you can make use, you can change your dashboard. Normally it doesn't have to do with the dashboard. You can just go here and add your own modules here. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go to user story. So what is the user story? User story is a requirement. Okay, requirement which shows about what work, it's this user story is designed by the product owner or business analyst. In Agile you call product owner, in Waterfall you call as business analyst. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. Okay, so these are all user stories. Now you need to figure it out which user story you'll be working on. Who is going to tell you? Again, first point of contact is lead. Okay, if not, then business analyst sometimes, but better not to too much interact with the business analyst. Keep up as short as possible. Okay, but first point of contact is always lead. Okay, let's say I figured it out. I figured what is my user stories. Okay, great. Now I have plenty of, this is my sub user story. This is a major user story, which there are a lot of sub user story. Okay, there can be multiple child projects. So these are kind of child projects. Okay, so now let's see which I'm working. Okay, so great. So this is what my user stories, and okay, you're not supposed to change this. I have to change it. So okay, you are not supposed to change anything here. This is really, again, it's not your job to change anything. Most probably you will not have access, and even if you do, you are not supposed to change anything. Again, okay, just remember this. Don't make mistakes that previous batch has made. Okay, you are not supposed to change anything. Don't delete anything. If you don't know, you have to reach out. Here you have to reach out to me. Okay, in real time, if you don't know, you need to look out. Search by Google, or try talking to your team member, someone. Okay, then you can figure it out. But you are not supposed to delete anything here. Okay, this is user story, not your job, unless you are a business analyst. Okay, you're a tester. You have to remember that. Okay, so here, let's say this is the user story. That means this is the URL, verify all the functionality, including text. Now, I made it simple, just one line statement, do all functional testing, that's fine. But really, normally this is not the scenario. This will not be simple. It would be, paragraph, and there might not be a screenshot. And the way that they design, and the way they, because there are a lot of people working, right? Developer is working, tester, architect, project manager, okay, scrum master, if it's an agile, scrum master, architect guys, okay, business analyst. A lot of people are involved in this one particular project, not just you and me, a lot of people. So the way they write the information is like for everyone. So you may not always understand the information at once. You need to read multiple times, maybe twice, thrice, 4 times, or maybe it takes long time. But you need to understand what the information is. Here, I've not done anything. There's nothing here, so it should, it is easy. Okay. So this is what you'll be looking here. Only your job in user story is to understand what is there and what you are going to do. That is your job. Not to delete, not to remove anything, not to do anything else. Your only job is to understand what is written here, right? That's it, nothing else. You cannot do anything more than that. Just to try to understand what they are trying to say and what test cases you're writing based on this. That's the requirement part, right? That's the user story. Okay, any questions? So let's go to, okay. So here, I'll be discussing about a little bit of task. Task is for ease of convenience for yourself. Okay, there's a test cases too. Test cases are different from task because task has timeline. How much time are you taking to complete some test cases? Let's say you have written some test cases, right? How much time are you taking? And most importantly, task may be very important when your boss assigns to you. If your boss assigns to you, that means you need to work on it. So that becomes very important. Okay, so task, whenever you are adding task, let's say let's try to add task. So what I'm trying to write it is functional, and the reason you have this task, right? Let's say you're working on, you're not just working one or two projects, you'll be working on multiple projects, right? They're working on 3 projects, 4 projects, and you want to you want to keep track of that, how much time you have spent in this project, how much time you have, so all this becomes very important when you're working on multiple projects. Let's say add with details. Now let's see, now here you can change it, okay? And also obviously you don't want to delete something here. I'm just putting here my name so that I know who has written it. Okay, and obviously you don't want to delete which is something assigned by your boss, then you'll be really in trouble. Let's say we'll just put as 10 hours. So here we are taking estimate task as 10 hours, okay? Okay, so here I'm just putting as, so this is nothing to do, I'm just, I like blue color, so I'm just putting blue color, that's it. Nothing to do with anything. Okay, so here, if there's an attachment, you can put an attachment. Obviously, there's been not many attachments here, but you need to put an attachment if there is any notes. If there is a notes, okay, you can write the notes. And tags, if you know the tags, let's say you're going to GM online, we'll just put a GM online. That means it's related to this. Whenever somebody types GMO, this this shows up. Okay, and just click on create, and click on done. Okay, great. So I have just created a task for myself. Normally, you can create yourself, or technically anyone can create and assign it to you, like Scrum Master, or Project Manager, or Manager, or Lead. As a matter of fact, Lead also can create tasks and assign to you. Okay, so they'll say, hey, you know what, just test this, and this is the timeline you need to complete in this timeline. You cannot exceed more than this. They might even say that to you. Okay, so that's that's about those tasks. Okay, any questions? Well, let's go pretty quick here. So because we'll be running late of time, let's go to the test cases. Okay. Okay, so here you are going to create your test cases. To create a test case, in this rally specifically, okay, you want to hover your mouse over this action, which is located into right upper corner, right, and click on new test case. You just need to hover. You don't even have to click something. Just hover your mouse, click on new test case. Okay, good. Let's go here one by one. Pretty good. And this is generated for me. Okay, great. So that's default. That's good. But otherwise, you need to put your naming convention. I'll put the tag as GM Online. And description, want to performing all the test case functional testing. Oops. Functional testing. And you want to write you want to give more information, no, you can still give more information. I'm just giving this input. So most of the time you don't require attachment here, but yeah, there's an option. If there is an attachment, you have to put an attachment, otherwise you don't have to worry. Owner, so owner of the test case is always a tester. Owner of the user story is a business analyst. Owner of the test case is a tester. Owner of the defect is the developer. Okay, you need to remember this. So here obviously the tester Okay, the tester is the owner, and you just put the owner. And which project does it belongs to? So obviously we I have opened in this project, so it's by default it goes to here, so no issues. But if you see this, these are red color. That means these are mandatory. You need to put these mandatory fields. Okay, and and what is the objective? To test all the to test all the functionalities of GMO online project. Or what we'll just put as web application. Yeah, since we are doing the web application, we'll just put as web application. And okay. And if there is an expedite, that means you want to expedite, you can expedite, but really it's not always required. Only specifically if your lead says to expedite, then you need to do. Okay, what type is this? Is it acceptance testing? Is it performance, regression? Obviously we are doing functional, so we'll just put functional. Is it manual or automated? Of course, if it's a functional, mostly it will be manual. If it is a regression, then it will be automated. Okay. Now there's a very rare case where if you have regression, you put manual. I mean, not always, but yeah, there might be a case where you might do that. Okay. So priority. So what is the priority of this test case? So I'll just put as important, risk, medium. Okay. Now here you have to fill up this information. What is the precondition? That means to when you're executing these test cases, what is the preconditions? Okay, we are not executing right now. We are trying to write test case, but still, this should be followed even whenever you're writing or whenever you're executing. Okay, so now one by one, code should be deployed in test environment. Right? Without test environment, we are not going anywhere. We need to put this in test environment. Now the second is smoke testing should be completed. Okay. Anything else? Anyone remember something else? Code should be deployed in test environment because you are doing in test environment, not in dev environment. And the most priority in this project, let's say smoke testing should be completed. So we put a smoke testing. Okay. If anyone remembers, let me know. I'll add more here. Okay. So this is what precondition. That means to write any test case or to execute this test case, this is a must. Okay, and we'll go to this step. We'll just now we'll go a little bit post conditions. You need to have this post conditions. Now post condition is code regression testing should be completed. Okay, and then after regression testing, code should be deployed into production. Okay, anyone remember anything else in post condition? Anyone remembers, let me know. Or you can write, whenever I'm giving homework, you can write in that. Okay. I mean, this is nothing to do with anything. I'm just, I like blue colors. I'm just putting blue color. That's it. It's nothing to do with anything. Okay. So here, notes. This got automatically added for some reason. Maybe it's picked up from previous projects. So here you can write some notes, like but really not required as such. But yeah, if you have an opportunity, you can also do that. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, let's start writing our test case. So this is two fields. You see these two fields? That means what is the input? That means what input are you trying to give, and what is the expected after putting the input? If you're clicking enter button or clicking some button, what is the expected result? Okay, just like page is navigating to different page, or after clicking this button, I'm getting this web page, all those things. So that's expected. So here what let's try to write few of these test case here. So what's the input? Enter the GMO online URL. Let's put that URL. Okay. And put it here. And hit enter. Right. And what is the output? I mean the result. What is the expected result? That means home page of GMO online homepage. Okay. You know what? GMO online. So let's say we are doing for Chrome browser, we'll just put as Chrome browser. Okay, that would be better, more specific to the browser. Okay. Now, this is the input where we enter the GMO online URL in the Chrome browser and hit enter, and what is expected? Home page of GMO online is expected. Okay, great. Now I want to start writing more test cases. Let's say I want to write 5 test cases. Okay. Again, remember this. You need to do. You have to come up before writing test cases. You need to come up with positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and boundary values. Let's see here. Now to add more steps, you have this option. You see the steps, and you have this icon. Get add action step. Click on this, and you get drop down box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's click on 1 for now. So 1, again the page gets refreshed, and the 2 pair of fields are displayed again. You see this. What is the input? What is the expected result? The same thing. Now, what's the input? So let's say I'm trying to click on this button. Let's enter a GMO online button. So what you need to write is click on enter GMO online button. Okay. Now what is after clicking what they expected? Let's see here what is expected. Okay, the page is navigating to online catalog page. Okay, that's what is expected is. So what I'm trying to put is page is you will just put as navigated. Okay, navigated to online catalog page. That means it has a different URL altogether. Okay, and okay, good. Okay, now this we have completed one test step. Now we need to go to the another test step. Okay, these are the test steps. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, so again to go to the next step, you want to click this icon again, add action step. Click on that. Again, this drop down box shows up, and I just want to 1 again, and the page gets refreshed, and you get 2 more fields here. Okay. Now, what's the next one? Let's say I have, I'm an online catalog page and I need to write the test cases for this, right? Let's put here. Enter the value for 3% dome tent. Okay. So enter the value for 3%. That this is a 3% dome tent, and the order quantity you want to put as 10. Okay, and click on place an order button. Okay, and click on okay. So that means you're trying to say this, enter the value for 3% Domten in the order quantity as 10 and click on place an order button. Now what's the expected? Let's see here what's the expected. We just click on this and we get again a different new page, a different URL, place order. So we'll just see this is the place. So page is navigated to okay. So page is navigated to place order web page. Okay, great. This is place order. Now I need to write third step. Now this is my first step, second step. Okay, actually this, I mean, I thought this was the first, but that's fine. Whenever you want to start, you want to start from somewhere, right? So you use this one. Okay, so this first step, second step. Now again, I want to add one more step. Go ahead and click on this. Now click on again one. Now here is the problem. Okay. Now this is not my second step, but it's showing a second step. You see this, and that this thing became third. Now this is really, this is not required because I know this is my second step, but this has somehow became third step. So that's, maybe these guys never knew. Maybe this should be a defect in Rally, but nobody cared about this. Okay. So what you can do is you can go ahead. You have this option for every field. You have this, option 2 option here. Okay. So let's see here. You have this add action step and action menu. Click on action menu and click on move step down. Now if you do that, now this becomes a third step. Okay, this is supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be done. Okay, so now let's say here. Okay, let's start writing here, third step. So third is click on proceed with order button. Okay. What is expected? Let's see here. What is expected? Page is navigated to building information page. Okay, great. So here. Okay. So this is my third step. Now I want to write more, more 2 steps. Now I'm not going again back here because this will be too much work. Now I'm clicking this gets second step, okay, because some bug in Rally, we don't know. It's kind of bug, right? I don't want this as second step. Again, if I click that, it comes second step. Now what I'll be doing here is I have an option to create here itself, which is located in every field on the right side corner, the right corner. See this? Now I'll be adding from here. Now this will be good because if I click here, now this becomes a 4th step. Now that's really good, because I'll not be wasting time in just moving my steps ups and down. Okay, so okay, good. This is 4th step. That's fine. Now let's fill up all this information here. And I'll put this card number. And just put it 2017. Okay. Now what my test step is, fill all the information in the billing page, billing information page. And click place the order button. Okay. Okay, so what is expected? Obviously, page is navigated to different page. Let's see here. What's this is, oops, page 17. And once I click online store receipt, okay. So page is navigated to online store receipt page, okay. Now I want to write one more test case. Let's see here. Click on the same, the add action, click on this and click on one. This page gets refreshed and I get one more step. Okay. Now, now what's here? I click on return to home page button. Okay, so I'm just click on and the page should be directed to, we just put it navigated to home page of GM Online. Okay, so let's see, is it working? It's good, it's working. Okay, good. So this is your test case. Okay, and we are not done yet. Okay, so we have just written only 5 test cases, right? Let's see here, and just click on save and close. Okay, but here, here's the important thing. You cannot write test cases, keep on writing test cases like hundreds of steps. That's really not a good idea, right? Now you want to cover everything. Here we didn't cover anything. We just covered one flow there, right? And when you're doing testing, you need to do a lot of things, not just one flow. As you guys did, right? Yesterday, some people did homework, right? We have to really check a lot of things. The similar way you need to do in this test case, but test case is not really detailed, right? It doesn't cover anything. Just one page. I mean, it's just 4 URLs. That's it. But you need to test everything. This images, this color, these buttons, everything you need to test. But here we can do. So what you can do is, I can go ahead and click on edit. And because this is very important in audit review, so in audit review you need to be very careful, and your test case is not even close to information. So what we want to do is, here what you want to put is perform testing for positive scenario. Oops. Perform testing for negative scenario, and perform testing for boundary values. Okay, and check on the images. Okay, and anything else you guys remember? Okay.
Past scenario.
I'm sorry, what?
Past scenario regarding the credit card number, the credit card expiry date we use. Past expiry date.
Yeah, past scenarios we've done, right? Past scenarios. Okay, so positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values, images, we check header and footer, fonts and color, we almost check everything. You can put all this information in just like this, and because you cannot write each and every test cases, and you don't want to clog all the information, putting some 30 steps, 40, 50 steps. That's really not a good idea. You need to max steps. As per my experience goes, I would consider 20 steps. That's it. You don't want to go beyond that. If you're going beyond that, then you're reducing the efficiency, right? you are performing less work and spending more time on just writing your test cases. That's really not good. Okay, so that's how I want to say, if any audit review or something like this, you want to write it this so that they will know that you have performed this. Okay, so, and click on save and close. Okay, good. So now here it's everything shows up. If there's anything else, you can add the field values, check for field values, check for static text, we have checked for drop down boxes, you have checked for images, screenshots, okay, all those things, whatever is there. So you can add it here itself. Okay. So that's it. This is about writing test cases. Any questions? So let's go back for the user stories. So now if you see this in my user story, okay, great. This is what the test case. Okay, now this shows this. It has an ID that is 3TC. TC means test case. ID is 335. And this name, of course, what is the naming convention we performed, and what's the what product, that means which user story is it related to, right? And what type of testing is functional or user acceptance, important. Now, who is the owner? Owner of the test case is always supposed to be a QA guy. Okay, you cannot put an owner of developer. Okay, don't do that because test cases is always okay. Developer might have their own test cases, but some places they like. So, but they are working on unit testing or something like that, but not on this functional testing. Okay, method manual. Okay. So this is, now let's execute this test case, right? Let's execute it pretty quick. So how to execute it? So here you have 3 icons located in the lower right corner. You see this? This is the execution. That means you are generating a result for your test case. So far, what we have done, we have just written test cases. That means nothing unless you execute it, right? So this is an option to execute it. If you want to edit it, you can edit it here, just like I did. Now, if you want to copy the same test case, you can also do that. And make sure if you are copying it, please don't. If you are using this, remove this. Okay. This copy, some people copy that and they say, copy my test case, and they say, no, I've completed the test case. Okay. Even if you are copying someone else, make it look like a professional. Okay. Don't just, some people. Previous batches, they just did copied by test case. Okay, that's fine. And they just put like this and click on save and close. It's a copy of. So it doesn't look professional if you're not editing this properly. You need to edit these things, carefully. You cannot just leave it just like that. It doesn't look professional. Okay. Now let's execute this test case. Let's click here. Test case, new test case result. So you're generating a result for your test case. Click on this. And we want to write some information. Let's say built. I know what built. Just put as bold as 30. So the build number. You want to get your build number from your lead. Okay, your lead or your boss knows the build number. You can check with them, or if they don't know, you can leave it. But here, this is a mandatory. See this red color. So you are supposed to put the build number. Okay, verdict. Is it pass? Is it fail? That means what is the result? Verdict means what is the result? Here we'll just put it pass. Who is the tester? Obviously, tester will be you, or if you're working in some big company, okay, there might be someone who is writing test cases all the time, doesn't execute. There might be some person who is always execute, doesn't write test cases. There might be some scenarios. In that case, you want to assign the guy, QA guy who is responsible. But normally that will not be the case. Always, who is written the test case will execute. The same guy will be executing. Washington. And you want to write it notes here. Executed. Test cases for GM1. Okay, and cellulose. Okay, so here I didn't, I never told you something here. Okay, you need to remember this. So if you see this is expand. You can expand now. This thing shows up. You can see here. Now you want to edit here. Go ahead and click on edit. Okay, so this is edit. Great. Okay, so here we were just coming back to here. Now attachments. Without attachments, your result is useless, completely useless, right? You have to take this for granted. Okay, if you're not attaching in anything in the result, it's whatever work you have done is no point, because you know what? Let's say you have executed this test case. You know it. Okay, you have done it. It's good. Now there's a production issue, and your boss gives you a call. Hey, you know what? Can you stop by at my desk? Now your boss asks you, so did you execute this? There's a production issue. Did you execute this? Then you say yes. Okay, how would I know that you executed this test case? So that's a very good question. So your boss asks you, how would I know that you have executed the test case? So that's a very good question. You don't have any evidence that you have done your work properly. Now, so always what you have to do is you want to maintain the screenshots. Without screenshots, your result is almost useless. Okay, even if let's say here, let's go back here. Now I'll be using this. You can use, as a matter of fact, you can use anything. Be using this Paint and MS Word. So I'll always document my results in MS Word. Let's see here. How can we do this? Okay, let's close this. Here. MS Word. It's not showing up. Okay, good. Okay, now let's see here. Now what will I do is, now let's say, I said that we have executed test cases, right? So you want to take screenshots of every web page you have visited, right? Now you want to take this, you have entered this, take a screenshot, and just put it in Paint and see. You can also do this in MS Word, no big deal. I'm just using this. I'm using only information what is required. Okay, I'm not putting all the things. So and just paste it here. Now, let's go to the second one. Oops. Click on, you see the second step, right? What was the second step? Enter GM Online, click on this button. Okay, great. So we just click on this button and take a screenshot. And use Paint. Okay, and then so place an auto button. Do you remember third step? Click on place an auto button. Okay, and take a screenshot. And click on this. I mean, you can paste it just like that, what is there, but here, what I'm trying to see is I'm just trying to put the information which is relevant to it. Okay, we don't want to put, irrelevant information too. So now, what is the next step? Click on proceed with order button. Okay, good. We'll just fill up all this information here. This. So this is good. We'll use this number. 217. And take a screenshot. I'm going to put it here. And click on place in order. Take again the screenshot. So what you're trying to do here is you're documenting your all your work, all your steps, right? Remember you're writing test cases. In that case, you are documenting all your in the form of screenshots. And one more. Okay, so you don't require this. So yeah, you can put this one. Okay, so this is how you need to document your work. Okay, now what you do is save. We'll just put it here on the desktop and results. Okay, now if there's a production issue or something, they will immediately find out here itself. Okay, so so where is your work? Okay, now you have a very good reason, okay, to tell your boss, hey, you know what, we didn't find this kind of issue. I'm not exactly sure if the developer changed something. Those guys might have changed something, but when we tested, right, we never found this issue. For more information, you can look into our screenshots and just put that result here, and now it's good. Now this is the very important thing, while doing this testing. Okay, if you're missing attachment in the result, then you're, it's completely useless, because even if your boss doesn't catch you, this will be an audit review. Let's say if your company has this audit review, they will catch you. Okay, so they will just immediately find, okay, where is the document? We want to look into how well did you do your testing. We want to see that. Okay, I'll say that close. Like this. Okay, now it's good. We'll go back to our user story and see. Okay, good. Now, if your boss looks into your test case, okay, where are your test cases? So this is my test cases. Now, if your boss asks, how do I know that you have completed your test case? So you can say, hey, you know what? You can look into my attachment where I have put the screenshots. At that point of time, we really didn't have any issues. We didn't have any issues. I'm not exactly sure. The developer might have changed it between, or something went wrong. But you can look into our screenshots. So that's how you want to document your result. Does it make sense? Because if you're not putting any documents here, if you're not putting any evidence, you don't have a valid argument to argue with your boss saying that I've tested properly. Because at the end of the day, it's evidence which matters. If there's no evidence, that means you're not tested. Simple. Even if you have spent a lot of time and put a lot of time and tested, but it's completely useless if you don't put any evidence. Okay, so that's how. So we execute the test cases. Once we executed it, we put the attachment so that you have this attachment thing that yes, we tested it and it's good. This is the document. We tested as per the requirement, and you can look into this our attachment, and you can see. So that's how we execute our test case. Any questions?
Sir Mano, you will send this like the training class video to our email or not?
Yeah, I was keep sending it. If you didn't get any email, just send me an email. Okay. I was sending from 2 days, right? From yesterday also I've sent. You didn't get any?
No, sir. This is Gulam. I didn't get any email from you, sir. So I got from the Sanjay and everybody, but not from you, sir.
Yeah. So send me an email. Okay. I'll add you in the list, and also I'll send the previous recording too.
I appreciate, sir.
Okay. Send me an email at manu@itamerica.com. Don't ping here because if there's underscore or full dot, it that doesn't get copied properly. So send me an email so that I can add you in the list, and I'll send you all the recordings and as well as the homeworks.
Sure, sir.
Okay, somebody asked my email ID, right? So my email ID is, oops. Okay, so my email ID is manu@itamerika.com. So send to that one, okay? And
Sure.
okay, so I'll add you in the list, and I'll also send you the homeworks. Any more questions? I'll be giving you access to this tool too. Just make sure don't delete anyone's work. So you see this, there's a lot of work here. Okay, so just don't delete anyone's work. If you don't understand, you can send me an email, back an email. Okay, we can schedule a call. We can talk about it. But because previous batches, they deleted somebody's work, and and then some people have a lot of hard time of writing homework, because some people were writing homeworks and they didn't find the user story because somebody deleted it. So it's really not good to delete someone else's work. Okay, again, don't delete anyone's work. If you don't know, you need to talk. You need to talk to me. If in real time, you need to check it out with your colleague. May be friendly. Okay, they might help you out. Okay, this is it is. You can do this, but you are not, by any means, you're not going to delete anyone's work. If you are doing this, if you are deleting, then you'll be in trouble, because in real time it's taken very seriously. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? So tomorrow we'll check. We'll talk about this defect section, and we'll go through the reports also pretty quick. So
I have one last question.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, like you talk about the test case scenario, right? There are only 3 scenarios, right? Positive, negative, and boundary values.
Right. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so what was the question again?
You talk about the test case scenario, right?
Right.
Like positive, negative, and boundary values.
Right.
So there are only 3 that we'll be talking about.
So yeah, there's positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and boundary values.
Boundary values, yeah.
Okay.
So the expiry date of the credit card falls under positive scenario.
So credit card number, you're saying the credit card number comes in positive scenario? Yes, positive scenario.
The expire. Remember, we tried the one example yesterday that was expired and accepted.
Okay, that's a very good question. So that comes under. Yeah, so that comes under negative scenario, because the positive scenario it should be always it should be the later date, right? That's a positive, because once you are putting the older, that is the outdated one, so that would be a negative. That comes into negative scenario.
Oh, okay.
Okay, positive scenario is anything which is which should be there, right? I mean, what they're expecting is using that word. Let's say if you're using this expiration, the expiration should be, of course, obviously will be future date. You cannot be past date. If it's a past date, of course it will be a negative, because it's not expected, that one. Okay, so that's how. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can call me, okay, after the class, or maybe Maybe you can call this 1 hour or so. Okay, let's say if you're calling now, okay, I'll pick up the call pretty quick. Okay. Any more questions?
And you'll be sending the login details for Rally?
Yeah, sure. I'll send the login information for Ali. Okay. And you're getting emails, right? You're getting emails from me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, I'll send an email. Okay. For getting, send me an email at manu@itmail.com. I'll send the homework as well as information so you can practice it. Just practice it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you. I'll call you in a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. We can call you.
Oh,